What's up, guys? Welcome back to your Heroclix headquarters. It's that time again for previews for the next set. I know Spider-Man and Venom just came out, but it looks like the next set is going to be X-Men House of X, and it looks like it's going to be releasing in December. That's subject to change, of course, but we've got a few months at least to enjoy our new stuff from Spider-Man, and then we'll get an awesome new X-Men set. Now this preview is going to be coming to us thanks to House Rules Gaming. They shared it on their Facebook page, but this is actually coming to us from Game Trade Magazine. So since all of these pictures are going to be just pictures straight out of a magazine, apologies in advance if any of them are kind of blurry or you can't really see anything. We're all just working with what we got today. So we're going to start off taking a look at the common Elixir. Now, I haven't got around to reading this story yet. It's been recommended to me a few times, and I plan on getting to it eventually. So I don't know who Elixir is. I've never actually heard of him before. But he looks pretty cool. He starts out with the Hellfire Club New Mutants, the 5 X-Force and X-Men keywords. He's got a trait, the 5 Elixir. When a friendly character is chosen by the Krakowen Revival trait, after resolutions, heal each character adjacent to them 1 click. Alright, so we're going to take a look at that Krakowen Revival trait in just a second. But then he's got a special damage power that gives him support, but Elixir and his target may be adjacent to an opposing character. So that's great. Sometimes that's really the only thing stopping you from being able to use support is the fact that one of you is in close combat with somebody and stops you from being able to use it. So that's always nice to have. And then it says, when a friendly character uses the X-Men team ability, increase their D6 result by +2. That is amazing, because that's already pretty good odds that you're going to fail it and take a damage for using it. But to increase your result by +2 is great. And he just has the, of course, X-Men team ability as well, so he also gets that benefit. If you don't know what it does, it says it right there. Power, choose an adjacent friendly character that can use this team ability and heal that character 1 click, then roll a d6. On a 1 through a 4, this character is dealt 1 unavoidable damage. So basically, you could still roll a 3, and get a +2 up to a 5, technically, and you don't have to take that damage, which is great. Looking at his stats, he's only 40 points. He's got Sidestep with a 12 attack for that support, and a 17 with invulnerability. So he's pretty beefy defense-wise. He can definitely take a hit, and 12 attack support has got to be about the best support I think I've ever seen, honestly. They hand out a lot of 11s, they hand out a lot of 10s, defends with 15 to help get easier rolls, but straight up 12 attack for the support is amazing. Sidestep, of course, helps him to position there as well, and then having that extra ability to be able to heal while you guys are adjacent is great, because that way you can just carry him around as your own personal little support healing battery. And then at the back half of his dial, he gets some stealth and some regen to heal himself up, and a 4 damage with exploit weakness, which is pretty insane for 40 points. So all in all, I really like this guy. He's going to be a great little supporting figure. But next we're going to take a look at the uncommon Marvel Girl. So she's got the Phoenix Force, Quiet Council, X-Factor, X-Force, X-Men, Cosmic and Ruler keywords. She's got improved targeting for characters, which is great. So she's going to be able to see through your characters and your opponents to be able to hit who you need to, or use her telekinesis on somebody in front of you. That's always really nice to have. She starts out with a trait that says, Krakowen Revival, refer to the Krakowen Revival bystander card. So we did get a look at that, and we'll take a look in just a second. So she is able to use that Krakowen Revival trait, but then she also has a special on her damage that gives her Outwit, and when a friendly character with the X-Men keyword is targeted by Outwit, after resolutions, roll a d6. On a 4 through a 6, deal the opposing character that used Outwit 1 penetrating damage. That is amazingly useful, actually. If you can keep her back, keep her out of harm's way, they're really going to have to think twice about using their Outwits, because they're going to have to take a penetrating damage for it. And a lot of times, that can just get rid of their Outwit altogether. There's a lot of characters that just start with a click of Outwit, and then they immediately click off of it onto something else. So they really have to be careful if they use that Outwit on something and take that penetrating damage, because they're potentially going to click off of outwit, and if that happens, then whatever they outwitted is just going to come right back. It's going to be like they never used it in the first place, and they're just going to take a damage for nothing. So it really forces your opponent into a bad position, especially because, you know, if they're using like low point outwitters, they might only have 2-3 clicks. They might only be able to outwit something 2 or 3 times before they kind of end up dying. So that's really cool. Now, looking at her dial, pretty good. 80 points, though, is a lot, especially nowadays. She does have, looks like a 6 range double target, 10 movement with running shot, 11 attack with telekinesis, which again is going to be helpful with that improved targeting. And then she gets some energy explosion later, which improved targeting is also very good for, to see, you know, maybe the character behind their front row that can splash onto more characters and get that 2 damage hitting more characters. 17 with energy shield and indomitable is nice. I would have liked to have seen that 18 up at the front to keep her a little bit better protected, and she does start with a 3 damage with that outwit special. And she gets some prob there in the middle as well. And of course has the X-Men team ability too. So all in all, she's a really solid figure, but I still feel like 80 points is a lot nowadays. For only 5 clicks of life, I feel like she's really squishy, you know. Only 17 with energy shield is not going to keep you protected enough for only having 5 clicks of life. So we're going to have to take a quick look at this Krakowen revival trait thing and see if it makes her worthwhile. So the Krakowen revival bystanders card, I'm not sure where you get this card, first of all. This might just come with every character that has this trait. It might just be randomly included in boosters, you know, I have no idea really. So the Krakowen revival trait says, for all characters with this trait, when a friendly standard character with the X-Men keyword and a lower point value would be KO'd by an opposing effect. Interesting there that they say opposing effect, not just opposing attack. So it would still trigger off things like poison, mystics, knockback damage, etc. I believe it would still trigger off of an attack, but it is kind of weird wording. But then it says, you may instead choose to turn that character to its starting click this game. So of course that's going to say like this game starting click. So if it said had a 90-point line and you're playing it at its 45-point line, you're going to get that 45-point line that you paid for, and you're not going to get straight up its first starting click if you didn't pay for it that game. And then it says place them adjacent to a friendly character that can use this trait. If you do, your opponent scores that character and generates a bystander on this card of their choice adjacent to any of their characters. Your opponent then scores 10 points for every bystander they generated this game via this trait regardless of source. Ooh, okay, so it was really good until the point where they get a free bystander and they score 10 points for every bystander that they get to generate. That seems a little bit unfair considering we did get a look at all these bystanders. They're pretty awesome. So we're going to start with, some of their names are kind of hard to read because again the quality of the picture is not quite the best, but Horticulture looks like some type of skeleton vulture type dude. 4-range triple target with sidestep and 11 attack with incapacitate for that triple target is going to be insane. 15 defense with defend and 2 damage with support. Like I said just a second ago, having low defense with defend to help increase your odds of hitting with support is a good combo. The next one, Phobos armor, 6-range double target. He's got some force blast there to knock people back. He's autonomous, so his actions won't count against their action total. 11 attack, energy explosion, 18 with impervious, and a 3 damage with outwit. So that guy looks pretty strong. Then the next one here, can't really read his name, something soldier, 6 range, 9 movement with running shot, 11 attack, penetrating blast, 17 with energy shield deflection, and 3 damage with enhancement is pretty good. That 11 attack penetrating blast with the running shot is going to be pretty mean. The next one, Coven Akara, 6 range with stealth, 11 attack with precision strike, and again autonomous on this one, 18 with barrier and a 3 damage with prob. So this guy is doing a lot for your team between barrier and prob and having that precision strike to be able to get damage in on somebody is going to be pretty crazy. The next one here, Skinless Assassin. 6 movement with Flurry, 11 attack with Blades, autonomous again, 17 with combat reflexes, and 1 damage with Shape Change. So this guy's going to be really annoying to hit, and if they spawn him adjacent to one of their characters that's already adjacent to one of your characters, they're going to get a Flurry Blades attack right off the bat. But then the last one, PhD Apes, 9 movement with Charge, 11 attack with Quake, 17 toughness, and 3 damage with Perplex. So having all of these options, you know, they've got a Perplexer, a prob control, an outwit, support, triple target incap, barrier, penetrating blast, enhancement, flurry blades, charge quake, energy explosion, and force blast. Like, there's lots of really good combos in all of these bystanders for literally any situation. So to get that bystander and 10 points for free is pretty hefty cost to get one of your characters back. So you better make it count. It better be a very important character, because they're going to score that character's points on top of the extra 10 and getting the bystander. But I guess that's just one of the reasons that Marvel Girl was 80 points, so that there's plenty of your friendly characters that are going to be less points than her. You're definitely going to want to keep her in the back for that Outwit special, the TK, and especially that Krakowen revival thing. And if you got that Elixir guy on your team, whenever that character is brought back, they're going to be able to heal a click on all the adjacent friendly characters. So that's a lot of healing. That could be pretty helpful as well. So it's a very interesting new mechanic. It lists all the other characters that can use it here. Marvel Girl, Emma Frost, Mr. Sinister, Storm, Professor X, Magneto, but only at the 90 point line, Kate Pryde, and Nightcrawler. And then somebody who's got a symbol for a name. I don't know what that is, honestly. And then Marvel Girl from the Fast Forces will also have this trait, apparently. So that's pretty cool. You know, again, we'll have to see what all these other characters can do before I'll reserve judgment on the whole thing until then. Still kind of feel like Marvel Girl is a little overpriced for that, but it is a pretty awesome trait to have, just to be able to spawn your guys back. Nobody's ever going to die. Now, even after all that, we got one more character to look at here. And then we got a look at some new team-up cards as well. So first of all, we got a look at the rare Rogue, and it looks like she's got the Excalibur, X-Men, and Mystical keywords. She's got a trait, Excalibur, Mystical Protectors. She's got the Mystics team ability, but only triggers during ranged attacks. And she has Protected Mystics team ability. So having Mystics is always great, even if it's just for range attacks, since she is mostly a close combat fighter. Having them think twice about shooting her is always going to be helpful. Then she's got another trait, turns out I don't need the gloves. Free, choose an adjacent character and a standard power they can use. Until your next turn, Rogue can use that power and has that character's printed range value. So that's great. You can use that on friendly characters as well. So you can take, you know, their probability control, their precision strike, their energy shield deflection, whatever the heck kind of power you might want. So that's going to be really awesome. Of course, she also has X-Men team ability. She starts off with a 10 movement hypersonic speed, 11 attack super strength, 18 with invulnerability, 4 damage with battle fury, and she also has flight and indomitable as well. So really, you know, pretty average rogue stuff. She does start with battle fury at both of her point lines, either the 90 or the 60. So that way you can't just hypersonic and shoot at somebody right off the bat anyway. I feel like I kind of prefer her 90 point line a little bit more in this case, because she gets +1 to all stats and she gets a couple more clicks of life. But again, I feel she's a little overpriced. I mean, 90 points for only 6 clicks of life nowadays is a bit much. She's really going to have to make use of whatever power she's stealing, and she's really going to have to get some use out of that last 3 clicks of the steal energy, and hopefully the X-Men team ability help keep her alive, because she doesn't have any stop clicks or anything like that. So I think she's pretty susceptible to being one-shotted, and that's not really very good for a 90-point character. But I do love Rogue, and I'm always glad to see a new one. So this one does do some interesting things, letting you free action take a power from any adjacent character. It's pretty awesome. It looks like a lot of fun. But now we got a quick look at some team-up cards. If you guys haven't seen the team-up cards before, they were a brand new thing just added in the Justice League Unlimited set a couple sets ago. And it looks like we're getting them this time for the X-Men, which is pretty exciting. So Marvel Girl has a team-up X-Men theme team that says Marvel Girl attacks only characters that can use mind control. She modifies attack and damage by +2. So that's interesting. So if she's on an X-Men theme team, anytime she attacks somebody with mind control, she gets a +2 attack and damage. So that's going to bring her up to a 13 attack for 5 damage, which is pretty insane. That's a pretty cool team-up ability, actually. And then we gotta look at Rogue's team-up card to team up with Gambit. And it says, team up Gambit. If both Rogue and the listed friendly character are on the map, they can use support, but only to target each other. So I really like that. Of course, Rogue and Gambit got married, so they have that support only in each other kind of trait that we've seen on a few characters long ago in the past. It's really cool that they bring that kind of thing back out again in the form of a team-up card. And again, like I said, you know, she doesn't have a lot of survivability on her own, but having that extra bit of support from Gambit could potentially help a lot. And I feel like with Flight, she's going to want to carry Gambit around, steal one of his powers, and use that support if she takes a hit. So that's really freaking awesome. And, you know, so these are the only 2 team-up cards we've seen, but I already kind of like them better than most of the ones that we saw in Justice League Unlimited, because a lot of them were pretty generic, and we might see ones like that again in this. I'm not sure yet. These might just be the cool ones. But, you know, most of them were like, so-and-so team up with the Flash. The Flash is always going to give you super senses, which is nice until you get like Martian Manhunter that already has traded super senses. Then the whole team-up card's kind of pointless. And then, you know, you kind of just already know what character gives what depending on the team-up card. But it'd be interesting. These look more interesting, like they give much more dynamic, different abilities depending on who you're teaming them up with or what team they're on. So that's going to be really cool. I can't wait to see what they all do because I have not gotten a lot of the team-up cards from JLU, but I might want more of these. Boy, so that was a lot of previews though. That's going to do it for today. I am pretty excited. I do love me some X-Men, so I can't wait for some of that. And let me know what you guys think in the comments of all this new information, this Krakowen revival trait, and these new team-up cards. Let me know what you guys think of all that, and who you're most excited to see in this next X-Men set, because there's lots of great characters. Nightcrawler, I'm waiting for a good new Nightcrawler. But anyway, that's going to do it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and don't forget to click that subscribe button so you don't miss any more future previews like these. And if you guys have enjoyed what you've seen so far and want to help support the channel further, there's a link in the description to the Patreon. Check it out there and you can see your name in the credits here. And a big thank you to all of our Patreon supporters so far. We've got some awesome things coming up for you guys here pretty soon. I can't wait to share with you all. So, but that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching again. Until next time, this has been Heroclix Headquarters, signing off.